Hey, this is 2582 coming back at you with another video, and today I'll be reviewing another NASCAR diecast, and this one's actually a new release from Lionel that I got just a couple of days ago, and this one's one that I was very excited to get, especially because the sponsor and such kind of had a collaboration with this car and I guess driver and team, and is none other than Bubba Wallace's 2026 Hardee's Toyota Camry for 2311 Racing. Now, yes, this is going to be the most interesting release I've seen. Well, not the most interesting, but you don't really get fast food stuff anymore for NASCAR diecast or NASCAR in general, which is unfortunate because I always think they're really fun and cool. And this one is very interesting, especially for this year. But we're going to get into that in just a second. But yeah, your standard 2026 Cup Series, NASCAR Cup Series box, of course with the die-cast body and chassis and the rubber tires, which I obviously love so much. Yes, it's going to be Bubba Wallace's number 23 Hardee's 2026 Camry, limited edition. New for 2026 car, and it's actually my first Bubba Wallace car I actually have in my collection, surprisingly, but this is honestly probably the best one I would have gotten. But let's not waste any more time and let's take a look at this pretty amazing looking car out of its box. And there is the glorious Hardee's car out of its box, and my goodness, this paint scheme, very simple, I'll tell you that, but usually simple paint schemes can go very, very nicely. It's just the yellow, the red, and the black. That's it, and there's not something super crazy. It's just a solid color on the sides and the back, and on the roof, which does look a little strange now I look at it, but honestly, it doesn't look bad at all. Now, this is definitely one of the most interesting ones to get released because they kind of already released it before. Now, if you live in the eastern part of the U.S. or the northeastern, or I guess the southeast side of the U.S., you definitely have Hardee's locations, and they actually did release a spicy chicken tender combo that comes with the spicy chicken tenders, the fries, the drink, and it comes with the diecast. And it was actually this one specifically, Bubba Wallace's 2026 car, and it was actually made by Lionel, so you get that Lionel quality. But it had the plastic tires and the plastic chassis. Of course, this one has the rubber tires and the metal chassis, so it's heavier, and it didn't have the window banners. Honestly, great. I love that Hardee's and is playing into like the old 90s style of advertising NASCAR, like giving you a free car in like the meals, which is actually something I've actually done a long time ago. And even then, like McDonald's and such would give out like in their Happy Meals a diecast car, and like cereal boxes and such. I love that we're going back to that. Hopefully we'll be able to do that more. It'll definitely get more eyes on the sport. Unfortunately though, I live in the West Coast, so we don't have Hardee's, but the thing we do have is Carl's Jr., and it's literally the same restaurant, same logos, same menu, everything. It's just the different name, and it's only on the West Coast and I guess the Southwest. But unfortunately, we did not get that promo. So if you're from the West Coast and you don't have a Carl's Jr., write it down in the comments, of course, because I also kind of had to suffer. But at least I was able to get the, I guess, premium version of the diecast, if you will, which is still pretty amazing and honestly probably better than the, I guess, because the style they used for that diecast, it's like the NASCAR Authentics style, but that one actually had black interiors as opposed to the regular Authentics, which has white interiors. But anywho, let's take a closer look at this diecast and maybe stop talking about Hardee's and try to rant my little rant on Hardee's. So yeah, it's a, like I said, very simple scheme, but it works very nicely. So on the hood we got a Hardee's, the Hardee's star logo, and Hardee's on the bottom. Of course, this the way I see this, I see Carl's Jr. more than anything. Of course, being from the West Coast, that's all we saw. We got the Toyota Camry front end with the yellow and red stripes on the side, and also the red roof, which does look a little interesting. I feel like black could have gone well, but it still looks great nonetheless. So we got the number 23 on the side and also on the roof. It's kind of funny because this team was sponsored by McDonald's the year before, and then Hardee's swooped in and sponsored the team. So that's pretty cool. I still remember when I first saw it, and I thought it was really cool, but unfortunately they used AI generated the thing, which, but whatever. And it was funny because it had the image they generated had a little McDonald's logo next to the Hardee's logo, which I thought was the funniest thing of all time. Which, looking at it, I think some people would think it's a McDonald's car rather than a Hardee's car, but whatever. So let's take a look at the other logos. We got beautiful details on the wheels. They're actually painted black, or maybe they're not painted, because I bought that Tyler Reddick Jordan brand car, which I did do a review on. And it actually was not, it was just black wheels, so I think only the 2311 cars are like that, interestingly enough. We got Robin Hood, which is one of his sponsors. Bubba Wallace's sponsors. We got the Hardee star on the side, Hardee's. We got Bubba Wallace's name on the roof rail. Mobile One, Xfinity, and Columbia Clothing. You got Hardee's on the rear with the star and the number 23 with Toyota. Nothing on the decklet there. Toyota Racing on the rear window banner. And of course the front window banner has Wallace and the Toyota logo. Number 23, Hardee's. And yeah, the right side is the same as the left side. And metal chassis painted black with the rubber tires, of course, as I mentioned previously. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the entirety of the diecast, really. Now, let me cut for a second and actually grab another Hardee's car that it may or may not be, well, honestly, I think it's the most famous Hardee's car I think a lot of people have seen in NASCAR, really. Now, what Hardee's car would actually be more famous than this? Now, of course, there's a lot of other ones that I've actually ran in real life, but the one that I think is the most iconic is the one from Days of Thunder. So Russ Wheeler's number 18 Hardee's car, which oddly enough was a Hardee's promo back in 1990 when Days of Thunder came out. And speaking of which, I actually have the entirety, all the cars that came out in that collection. So let me put that Bubba Wallace one aside. So yeah, we got, I don't think I've shown these in the video ever. So we got Russ Wheeler here. We got Cole Trickle's City Chevrolet 46. We got Cole Trickle's number 46 Superflow. And of course, one of the most famous paint schemes, Cole Trickle's number 51 Mellow Yellow car. All these were available at Hardee's in 1990 at the time. I think it came with a drink or something like that. They even had promo cups, if I remember. But yeah, unfortunately for this set, they actually never made the Exxon car. Although I do have it, even though it's in Racing Champions, it's unfortunately kind of in rough condition. But yeah, Rowdy Burns number 51, pretty heavy car. Yeah, Racing Champions. They also made these cars in Matchbox as well, which I have not found any of them yet. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to show it off just to show, yeah, Hardee's has been in the sport for a while. But of course, they've been around even longer, like with Cale Yarborough and a bunch of other drivers as well. And even modern day, like Denny Hamlin ran that like Flames Coca-Cola car, which honestly does look pretty cool. Jeff Burton, I think, drove one at that time. So yeah, Hardee's has been here for a while. This is just their new endeavor into NASCAR, which is cool. I really like that they're doing all these promos now, like with putting this car in the meal, or you know, running some alternate paint schemes with the Hardee's branding. I am absolutely open for that. I love that. I just wish there was a Hardee's close by, or at least have Carl's Jr. also offer the promo, or have Carl's Jr. have Carl's Jr. sponsor the car whenever they're in the West Coast. But whatever. This is an awesome car. If you can pick it up, either from Lionel or from another website, like a diecast dealer, highly suggest you do. This is a really cool one. Like I said, you don't really get too many fast food releases anymore. And this paint scheme just rocks. Honestly, it looks cool. It's simple. It reminds me of early 2000s, late 90s NASCAR paint schemes, where it was just simple with the logos, and it was an iconic brand. So yeah, that has been the review of the Bubba Wallace 2026 Hardee's Toyota Camry for 2311 Racing. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.